Pray for Replication of Uttarpradesh Women Economic Empowerment Index should replicate in all states of India for inclusive growth. This article comes in 16th September 2025 on Hindu English daily newspaper, written by Pooja Sharma Goyal of Udayti Foundation CEO and Vivek Kumar Program Lead, Udayti Foundation. I thanks three of them. Women contribute just 18 to India's GDP today, but continuing with business as usual means that trillions of dollars will be left on the table. India's aspiration to become a $30 trillion economy by 2047 rests on a simple truth: inclusive growth cannot happen if half of its population remains invisible in the data that drive policy and investment. Nearly 196 million employable women are outside the workforce. While the female labor force participation rate has improved to 41.7, only 18% of these women are in formal employment. The question is not just how India creates opportunities for women, but how it ensures that these opportunities are visible, measurable, and acted on across every department and governance. A district level tool, the launch of the Women's Economic Empowerment Index by the government of Uttar Pradesh, the first in India, offers a glimpse of what is possible. This district level tool tracks women participation across 5 economic levers: employment, education and skilling, entrepreneurship, livelihood and mobility, and safety and inclusive infrastructure. Its significance lies beyond the index. It signals a shift toward embedding a gender lens in every data set, every department, and every decision. India produces multiple indices on health, economic well-being, and infrastructure. Very few disaggregate this data by gender. Without this lens, gaps remain hidden. Without visibility, reforms stall. And without reforms, exclusion becomes entrenched. When inequities become visible, action follows. In Uttar Pradesh transport sector, for instance, data analysis of bus driver and conductors in the state and the low percentage of women in this segment prompted the department to redesign recruitment strategies and address foundational infrastructure gaps such as women's restrooms in bus terminals. These changes, while modest or catalytic, and are unlikely to have occurred without gender-specific insights. By mapping where women drop off from schools to skilling to work, or entrepreneurship to credit, it moves the conversation beyond the participation rates to structural barriers. Consider this striking pattern: while women dominate more than 50% enrollment in Uttar Pradesh skilling program, they represent a fraction of registered entrepreneurs, with their access to credit being even more limited. This highlights not only participation gaps but also the systemic barriers to finance and enterprises support. Data that can directly inform policy reform. If India is serious about closing its gender gap at scale, gender disaggregated data must become universal and normative. This requires integrating gender breakdowns into every departmental management information system, from micro, small, and medium enterprises to transport to housing and buildings. The capacity of local governments to collect and use this data effectively to create effective gender action plans. It also calls for moving beyond surface level counts to track retention, leadership, re-entry, and quality of employment, particularly at stages after class 2 in schools and post-graduation, where female dropouts rate surge. Equally important is the need for rethink on gender budgeting. Too often, gender budgeting is confined to financial department or specific women welfare schemes. True gender budgeting applies a gender lens to every rupee spent across education, energy, and infrastructure and more. India's gender gap is not new, but India's response to it must evolve. The solution would involve fundamental changes in how India sees, measures, and responds to gender across every level of governance. The WEE index is not the finish line but the starting block. It makes visible what has long been invisible and offers a roadmap to move women from margin to the mainstream of India's growth story. Bible talks about urgent need of gender data in all states of India for inclusive growth. In Deuteronomy chapter 12 verse 8. You must not do at all what we are doing here. This lay for gender data, each man, that is each Indian states whatever is right in his own eyes.